Speaking of really bad people, here's Christopher Wray.
In this heightened environment, there's no question we're seeing an increase in reported threats, and we've got to be on the lookout, especially for lone actors who may take inspiration from recent events to commit violence of their own.
Sarah, who's he talking about? Because for about 4, 5, 6 years now, the FBI has made it very, very clear that they consider me to be a likely terrorist.
It's a great point, Jesse. I mean, these people have been asleep at the wheel the entire time that they have been in office. And unfortunately, the route that they're driving us on is the pathway to hell. It blows my mind that they have allowed all of these things to happen. And now they want to turn around and say, oh, by the way, turns out there could be some really bad people in this country who could actually turn around and kill Americans. Gee, who would have thought? I think that there is even more ill effects to come from not just this administration. When you look at, the people who Biden has put in charge, and you look at all of these communist puppets that he's put in charge, but I think that we're also going to see devastating effects within the military. I mean, you look at what they have turned this military into. I mean, we are supposed to have the strongest force in the entire world. And I'm just not sure how true that is. And I'm worried that we're going to be tested, and we're going to have to find out the hard way that our military is not as strong as it once was. And it's certainly not as strong as we would hope it would be, as we appear to be entering into World War III. And all the military seems concerned about is diversity, equity, inclusion, and creating ads that target lesbians who they want to join.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is the Air Force after all. Sarah, could you explain, switching gears here, exactly what you've been finding in school libraries?
I can sort of share with you, but I can't share specifics because it's too graphic to be able to show and talk about on your program. So imagine that, too graphic that when I play some of the things that I witness in these schools, I have to blur images. I have to bleep out certain profanities. I can't share it with my adult viewers, but it's available for your reading enjoyment for your average student. Even in Texas, these are disgusting books. They're not just indoctrinating children into thinking that if they're white, then they automatically are racist. They are indoctrinating them into this sexual cult that they call the LGBT community. Because, Jesse, it's fascinating that I don't typically see when we're going through all of this reading material that schools are providing to children. It's typically not just, some sort of heterosexual random thing. It's almost always exclusively some sort of gay romance novel with erotica for children's eyes. It's kink, it's incest. There's one that we just rooted out in Texas schools that is a father having oral sex performed on him by his daughter and talking about how much he liked it. I mean, this is grotesque stuff that they are providing for our children, because once again, we were asleep at the wheel this time, right? We weren't thinking that they would be indoctrinating themselves. They would be putting themselves into all of these different agencies, one of them being education. And so for years, we just thought, well, we're just going to leave everyone alone, and we're going to live and let live, and we're going to take care of our own families. Well, guess what? For the last 20 years, we've had librarians, secretly infiltrating into all of these, education systems so that they could provide your kids with porn. And now here we are.